If you're a successful woman in your 40s and you've built an income, credibility, and authority, and you know that your earning power is not fully leveraged, then this video is for you. On today's video, I'm going to talk about why I've created or why I started a YouTube channel in my 40s, not for fun, not for vanity, not to entertain, and not to start over, but to use my intellectual asset to make me money. YouTube is one of the most intelligent platforms to increase your income, your credibility, and authority during this decade. So if you're ever wondering, is it too late for me to start a YouTube channel now? Do I really need to be visible to create an extra stream of income? Or is it possible for me to actually leverage my intellectual asset online? Then I want you to stay with me. This video is for successful women in their 40s who are competent, capable, and reliable. You perhaps are earning well, but you feel like you're underpaid for the value that you can add to the well. You're also tired of having your income tied to your energy, time, and proximity. This is not a hustle. This is not a trend. This is not about becoming an influencer, but it's about leveraging your intellectual asset with YouTube. And I believe that women in their 40s are uniquely built or positioned to build something super powerful and long lasting on YouTube. So let's talk strategy. Why YouTube? Why now? And why now in my 40s? YouTube is not one of those, traditional social media platform. It's a search engine-based platform. It allows us to create evergreen assets, and it's also one of those platforms that still allow long-form content. And the long-form content that are on this platform actually win. So women in our 40s is not about creating exposure or making noise or entertaining. It's about creating content that creates compounding visibility, content that works while you sleep, that builds trust before you even enter the room, that positions you as the obvious expert without you having to chase. Instagram is fast. LinkedIn is so noisy, but YouTube, it archives your expertise. Every video becomes a digital employee, a silent sales conversation, a credibility amplifier. So I'm not doing YouTube to, show off myself and get attention. I'm doing YouTube to decouple my income from my effort. I've worked with high achieving women who have earned, led, and built successful companies. And what I've noticed again and again is these women are not necessarily hardworking. They've owned their voice, they've articulated their thinking quite well, and they've positioned themselves where opportunity just literally just shows up. So I'm not on YouTube to work hard. I'm on YouTube to position my premium offer effectively, scale my offer in the most beautiful way, as well as amplify my authority effectively as well. So my channel is not a hobby, it's an economic decision. So here's a reframe. Our 40s is not the time for us to slow down. It's a time when we stop getting paid for effort and start getting paid for our insight, discernment, and perspective. In our 30s or in our 20s, we were getting paid by doing, by proving ourselves, grinding, and being available. But in our 40s, real income comes from clarity, owning our voice, positioning ourselves, and building solid trust. And YouTube allows us to do that. And trust is built through scalable depth. And YouTube allows us to do that. YouTube allows us to explain our thinking. It allows us to demonstrate how we solve problems. It also allows us to, showcase our leadership without performing. And during midlife, this is the best way for us to expand our income. And trust is built via, scalable depth. And YouTube have allowed us to do that because on YouTube, we can share what we're thinking. We can demonstrate how we solve problems. We can step into leadership role without having to perform. And if we are a woman in our 40s and we want to increase our income, this is the best platform for us to really be in our power and explain our brilliance and own our brilliance without having to overly perform. So let's be practical. How is YouTube going to support my income growth? One, it pre-sells my expertise. So if someone watches my video for about 20 to 30 minutes, something special happens to them. So they move from just consuming information to witnessing how I think. They hear how I, structure ideas. They hear how I solve complex situations. They see how I think. They hear how, nuances about solving a specific problem. So this is quite different from when somebody is just strolling on Instagram or strolling on LinkedIn. So creating long form content on YouTube, it's so powerful because it creates context. And when you create context, you build solid trust. Sales conversations become shorter. They've already decided that she's my person. She understands my world. I really want to work with her. So by the time they're reaching out to me, they're not on my calls to ask me, how can I help me or how can I can help them? They're on the calls to know how they can work with me. And this kind of trust cannot be fake. It's built over time. And this is the power of creating long form content on YouTube, because it helps you to pre-sell your offer, and it's such a powerful way to build trust. So here's also what happened behind the scene. Because they spend a lot of time watching my videos on YouTube, I don't have to explain my philosophy. I don't have to justify my price. I also don't have to over-educate them. They already know how I work, they know who I am, and they also kind of really felt if we are an energetic match. So when they're on a sales call with me, it's not about me persuading them. They're on the call for confirmation. They want to enroll into my offer. We're not starting from zero anymore. We're starting from trust. And this has kind of really made the sales conversation quite easy. So the sales conversation is easy and not emotionally heavy for me. High level clients, they're not into hype. They actually want context. And YouTube allows us to, explain new nuances, allows us to explain our framework. It also allows us to solve complex problem. And sometimes we need a lot of room to be able to do that. And, high-end clients are not buying into information. They want to see how you see situations, how you can solve a problem, what you don't do when you're placed in these particular situations. What are you doing to ground yourself? That's what they want to know. And you can't do that in a 30-second video. You need space and you need room to be able to explain your thoughts for them to be able to digest it well. YouTube allows me to talk about nuances without having to apologize for it. It allows me to talk about framework without giving names to it. It also allows me to dive into, complex topic or situation without having to have it all figured out. High-end clients are interested in intelligent conversations like that. They don't want to be told what to do. They want conversations that respects their intelligence, their experiences, and also allows them to think for themselves. 3, it creates long-term discoverability. I'm not creating video just for today, but I'm creating a business asset. That video that I published on today is not going to disappear after 24 hours. That video can generate income today. It can generate income tomorrow, next week, and years to come. And that has changed the business game for us. A lot of people always feel that they have to be visible or engaged all the time to make more money. But, long-term discoverability content allows you to have your thinking, your thoughts, your experiences to work for you in the long run. So what I know about YouTube is that YouTube doesn't reward urgency, it rewards usefulness. So when somebody goes on YouTube and search to have a particular problem solved, and your video just shows up, they're going to be grateful that they found it. They're not going to watch it as this video is old. They're going to watch this video as pretty helpful and timely, because information never expires. Clarity never expires. Good thinking never expires. Youthfulness never expires. And that's what I love about this particular platform. That's why I'm sharing my own videos and putting my intellectual, asset on that particular platform, on this platform, because I know that my information is going to be pretty useful years to come, especially for everyone and myself. So here are 3 action steps you can take this month. 1, apart from me saying you should get a YouTube account, I want to invite you to stop hiding yourself. There's so many successful women that are capable, and have a lot of knowledge. There was a moment in time where being efficient, being reliable, and just quiet performance was enough. I mean, you've got the result, you've grown the company, your outcome has spoken for itself, but that was enough then. But nowadays, people are interested not only in what you have to do, they're interested in your brain. What is it that you're thinking about? And how is it that your thoughts are actually changing things in the external world? And this is where visibility gets misunderstood. Visibility is not only about putting yourself out there or, putting yourself forward. It's about context. Context about how you think. Context about what matters to you. Context, about the depth you bring to a conversation. When people understand you a little bit more, they have a clearer understanding of what you bring to the table. So this is a gentle invitation to allow yourself to be seen, to allow your perspective to be shared without needing it to be approved, to allow your wisdom to have a place outside your head, not because you want to be visible or you want to be known, but because your perspective might even help someone out there in the future. 2, build assets, not content. Not everything you create needs to disappear in 24 hours. Not everything you create needs quick validation. How the successful women in our 40s, our energy needs more than that. So I want you to ask yourself this question before you create a content. Will this content be useful for me in a year? Will it still be interested for my target audience? Will it still attract the people that I truly want to work with? And if your answer is no, I don't want you to take this as failure. This is just an invitation to rethink your content strategy. An asset is something that continues to support you. It's a video that showcases your perspective. It's a conversation that, shares your value. It's a video that someone finds years to come and still finds quite helpful. So this video is different from a video that you created like a 60-second video that just shows, a moment of satisfaction is a video that really solved a continuous problem for thousands and thousands of people on YouTube. And when you approach YouTube this way, you stop asking, what do I need to create today? And start creating videos like, what would be useful for someone when they're ready for the conversation. And this would help you to create videos that age well, that reflects your depth and create a trust over time. So when you're starting to create video, always ask yourself this question: will this video be useful in a few years, or even in the moment, or anytime the person wants to search? And if your answer is yes, you have created an asset, and YouTube is the best platform for sustainable growth with videos. If this video resonates with you and you're a successful woman in your 40s and you desire to increase your earning power, build confidence, and create an income that is not tied down to your output, then I'd like to invite you to subscribe. On this channel, I create daily videos to help you thrive through perimenopause and live your best life now. So if this interests you, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you on my next video.